Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel called IVD Manufacturing. So today I have brought lecture number 2 on a topic called Stakeholder Roles and Responsibility in PMS. As you are already aware that in the lecture number 1 we have already discussed what are the PMS, the definition of few terminology which I have been going to use during the course of series of the lecture, the mechanism of the PMS, the types of the PMS and so on. So आज का लेक्चर काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है बिकॉज मैं आपको ये समझाने वाला हूँ. आपको ये तो पता है कि सप्लाई चेन क्या होता है, राइट? सो इफ आई स्पीक्स अ सप्लाई चेन फॉर अ मैन्युफैक्चरर, राइट, तो जो कोर्स ऑफ जो एक्शंस होता है लाइक फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग, लाइक फ्रॉम मेकिंग ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट टिल गिविंग इट टू द हैंड ऑफ द कस्टमर, वो जो पूरा जो चेन होता है दोज आर कॉल्ड सप्लाई चेन फॉर एग्जांपल, राइट? तो अगर मैं प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट में हूँ, so if I want to deliver a particular product to my customer, I need to place the raw material order from my suppliers. They are going to deliver to my facility, right? I am going to convert this raw material into the finished product followed by the QC testing, and again I am going to send back the product back to the customers. So this is the kind of supply chain. So ये जो supply chain होता है, the stakeholders, I mean the person who are there in supply chain can act as one of the potential stakeholders for conducting the PMS, right? So I hope now you're able to understand like what I exactly want to convey to you, right? Okay. So let's speak about who are the different stakeholders during the course of PMS action. So there are two differences mainly, right? If my medical device is not WHO PQ compliant, right? So I will be having mainly 3 stakeholders. What are those stakeholders? The first one is the user and the client patient. Second, can you guess? Second are the manufacturer and the economic operators, right? You must have heard about this word economic operator when it's come with the U MDR or the U IVDR, right? The third one is the NRA, National Regulatory Authority, right? So ये तो था कि ये stakeholders वो थे जब मेरा medical device PQ compliant होगा, right? और यही जब मेरा medical device sorry my friends, these 3 stakeholders were in the case of the medical device which were PQ compliant, right? यही अगर मेरा medical device PQ compliant है तो क्या होगा, मेरा जो WHO है, the organization, the WHO technical committee, they will be added as a 4th of the stakeholders, right? So I hope it's clear. Now let's go deep into the roles or the responsibility which have been performed by the stakeholders. The first one is the user and the client patient, right? So what happened, my friends? जो user होता है ना, like किसी भी medical device product का, right? उसके कुछ responsibilities होते हैं उस product को लेके. Not only from the user point of view, like उसको use करने से मतलब नहीं होना चाहिए. Like when he is going to use that product ना, उसको जानना है कि उसको कोई defect तो नहीं मिला product में, right? You need to foresee the risk. So mainly user क्या करता है? He observe or detect the issue in the product, like one of the responsibility. The second is upon countering or identifying the issues, he need to document his feedback. Sure. Once he document his feedback, then he need to share this feedback to the manufacturer, right? And the 4th one is to follow the manufacturer instruction as per the feedback which he or she has submitted, right? So let's speak more in detail. So what happens when my user, when he is going to receive the product, okay? Let's say if he observe or detect any issue, so then it will be followed by documenting the feedback. Then based on the criticality, he or she might report to NRA as well along with the manufacturer, like the parallel reporting. So once all these 3 steps is done, the last step would be to act on the advice from the manufacturer, like including the field safety notice. Right, my friends? I hope it's clear now. So let's come to the first responsibility, which is the detect or the observe, right? So क्या होता है इसमें, like how and what to detect, right? So what happens? Let's say I have the product, the medical device. As I see, like I always say, like my favorite product is the dengue NS1 antigen. Okay, let's say if I'm going to supply this dengue NS1 antigen rapid test into the hand of my customer, right? So let's say as a customer, upon delivery of that product, I'm going to verify if my product was delivered correctly as per my requirement or not, right? It could be in terms of the product name, it could be in terms of the pack size, it could be in terms of the required IFU in their vernacular languages, it could be anything, right? I am going to also verify whether the labeling requirements were as per my requirement or not, right? The third would be to see whether the manufacturer detail is mentioned correctly on the labels or not, because that is a most important point. Because if, let's say, if I'm going to receive the product and by default the manufacturer detail is somehow smudged, the address or the contact detail is smudged completely, so I won't be able to complain back to that manufacturer, right? Because by the time I have used my product, I won't be able to claim anything. I hope it's clear, my friends, right? Then during the reading the IFU, I also need to see whether the instruction for use is properly listed down or not in user friendly languages, right? So these are the few of the aspects, and the most important thing is to check the storage condition, right? So these were few of the example, like what I'm going to detect as a customer once I receive my product. Sometimes what happens, user may ask you to give the COA for the lot or for the batch which he has received, right, or for the particular medical device. So I'm not going to speak anything about the templates or like how to capture these problems. I'm going to speak this template later on in my course of series of lecture, right? So what happened in the first step, I have detect and observe the issue, like what to be detected, how to observe the issue. Now second step would be whatever I have observed, whatever I detected, I need to document that processes. So second step, what happens usually, the manufacturer tell us, or in the IFU he may provides, like to report any kind of event, do refer this website detail, do refer this link and fill the form. So this form is nonetheless, this form is the feedback form, the customer feedback form. I am going to discuss the example of the form also later on, right? Fine. So usually what happens, most of the manufacturer वो क्या करते हैं, वो आपसे एज अ प्रूफ ऑफ एविडेंस वो आपसे फोटो मांगेंगे जनरली, राइट? तो एज अ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर द कस्टमर मुझे ये देखना है कि मुझे उसका फोटो लेना है विद प्रॉपर मैनर. अगर लेट्स से मुझे अगर बॉक्सेस रिसीव हुआ, द बॉक्सेस से कि इसके अंदर 25 टेस्ट होना चाहिए, 25 टेस्ट होना चाहिए फॉर द 25 पेशेंट, अगर 25 से लेस है सो फोटो विल वर्क आउट, राइट? अगर मैं पाउच को टीयर कर रहा हूँ, द डेसिकेंट colors get changed, it means there were a pinhole in that pouches, or the product might have been impacted his performance based on the humidity, right? So वो सब की हमको फोटो स्नैपशॉट क्लिक करनी होती है, right? Then क्या होता है, जो यूजर अगर कंप्लेन करता है, right, तो मैन्युफैक्चरर क्या करते हैं, उनसे जो बाकी के जो सैंपल्स उनके पास बचे हुए हैं वो उनसे रिट्राइव कर लेते हैं फॉर फर्दर देयर स्टडी, राइट? तो जो फीडबैक फॉर्म होता है ना, उसके अंदर एक EDI वर्ड भी आता है समवेयर, यूनिक डिवाइस आइडेंटिफिकेशन, राइट? आपको तो ये पता है कि दिस यूनिक डिवाइस आइडेंटिफिकेशन स्पीक्स समथिंग अ यूनिक प्रॉपर्टी फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर मेडिकल डिवाइस. जैसे अगर मैं एम्प्लॉय हूँ किसी कंपनी का, सो आई विल बी हैविंग द एम्प्लॉय आईडी, राइट? Similarly, the medical device also bear the UDI, on which I have already made the lecture. It was a short video. I am going to share the link in my description below. You can refer that link and go through that a short of 1 minute to explain what is UDI. Now what happened? Once I make the document, now what will be happen? Let's say मैंने वो document fill कर लिया. अब मुझे क्या करना है? Obvious सी बात है, मुझे उस document को immediately manufacturer को send करना है, right? Either it could be the online or the offline version, right? तो अब क्या होता है? For example, जब मैंने सेंड कर दिया तो हो सकता है I am going to receive a certain feedback from my manufacturer, right? This feedback could be in terms of the field safety action, like they are going to mention like what you need to take care, how to take care, what action to be done, like are they going to provide the replacement or so on. So I hope you must have enjoyed my today's lecture. Please do subscribe, like, share, comment on my video. Take care. Bye bye.